Okay, 6:01, we'll call the meeting to order. If we do a roll call, please.
Council member Silliman is recorded absent. Council member Pinello is recorded absent. Council member Lane.
Here.
Council member Thompson is recorded absent. Council member Carpenter.
Here.
Council member Beckwith.
Present.
Council member Michaels.
Here. Okay, if we could all rise and sleep.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We all have a moment of silence and reflection during our Remembrance and Memorial Day and all those to be remembered. Privilege of the floor. Dan Quayle.
Well, folks of the council, back in December, I spoke about the increase of our costs of garbage removal within the city. I haven't heard anything about it, but we've, just to so everybody understands, we've added $1.7 million to the budget for the garbage removal, and in my estimation, the taxpayers, private taxpayers of the city of Portland are subsidizing other people's garbage removal, and I'm curious as to when we're gonna do something about this, this inequity. And additionally, Councilman Thompson has yet to return any of my communication with him. He seems to be absent numerous times here, and I'm just curious as to what the council is gonna do, continue to allow this. I have no representation, and it's frustrating because I see our taxes going up. I see on the agenda, we're gonna increase. But yeah, my services are being diminished. And, you know, our county and our city has one of the highest taxes as a percent assessment rate in the nation. And yeah, my taxes continue to go up. So, thank you.
Brian Tobin.
So I sent an email to everybody present about my concern about the lack of representation that I have. Dan, I don't have a council member, but the 15 emails that I sent to them when they were here were all not responded to. So I'm very curious about what the timeline and the plan is in terms of filling that position. Also have concerns about your agenda in terms of a lack of numbers. And I expressed that in my email as well, because if you are voting on things that you don't have all the information, then really should you be voting? Good to see that you are getting the audit up for an RFP, which, as I think most of us know, really the RFP could have been done months ago so that you'd be in a position. And the fact that the last audit was a little bit late, you want to be a little bit earlier with that. I also wanted to ask a question that may be of benefit, and that is whether or not the city has filed for the American Rescue Plan funds, the annual report that is required. And if not, you may want to look into that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else here? Speak. Okay, so we'll move on to the mayor's report. Next. Yes. So a couple updates. We got the intersection work done on Main and for Watson Tompkins. Went and did the help do the cookout of the college, do the breakfast for the college. President Bitterbaum and I and some other staff members up there, it's 715 kids before, 2 hours before it was finished, so there's quite a few there. That was a great honor to be able to do that. Flags are up for Memorial Day, so we're glad to see that happen. Had a great drug arrest last night, so shout out to the drug task force. 532 bags of fentanyl were reclaimed last night, 15 grams of cocaine, $690, and 4 arrests were made during that. That was a good success.
Is that a traffic stop?
It was a planned stop, or planned arrest, so they've been working on tips, so it's good. Yeah, it's good. That was a high success. Boardwalks, so we did Ward 2 and Ward 3 since our last meeting, so there's 5.5 miles in Ward 2 we walked, and 5 miles in Ward 3. We found 2 vacants in Ward 3 that the neighbors were mowing the lawn and everything was caught up, but it was good to walk it and be able to see the difference, so we're able to get those drawn attention to, so we're working on those. In Ward 2, I think Katie was here, so you called in ill at the last minute, but the housing stock, what is looking a lot better. It's cleaning up on the Maple Ave and Lincoln area, so that's looking good. So that's working out. Speeding, sidewalks, flooding of roadways, Maple Ave culvert and Parker School were all good conversations. We ended up at Parker School and wrestling was using it at the time. Some good cleanup efforts have been made by the school district to be able to use it this next fall. So that's all good stuff happening. I guess while we're talking about the school district, don't forget today we vote, the budget is the vote today, so anybody has time to get up there, they're open till 8.
Yep.
We had some plaster falling at the firehouse on the wall, outside of the common wall, plaster fell into a drywall drop ceiling. It made that collapse onto the stairwell, so we had to move out the fire department on Friday and Saturday to await asbestos testing back to make sure there wasn't asbestos dust in that. There was not asbestos, so they were put back in there, and now we're getting in the efforts of cleaning that up and trying to come up with what the long-term plan is gonna be to fix that. We received our dumpster RFP and the art RFP, which are being reviewed now to see which ones are happening. The art RFP is for downtown work, for the DRI in the three areas that have that, so those are being reviewed as well as the dumpsters, so we can get to where areas of the dumpsters in the city and to get those resolved. There was 4 graduations this weekend and baseball tournament going on with no incidents or little incidents at all. So it was very well managed and with proactivity. The police department, everything went really well, and we had no major incidents, which is good. The position for Ward 1 that became vacant, we have 30 days to make sure that happened. That deadline date is June 12th. I'm asking this council to pull a special meeting on the 27th at 6 p.m. And that's to either address the resolution we'll talk about later and also set a time, the date of the 3rd at 5 p.m. As per our charter, and what we've done in the past, even when we had legislative vacancy, we went to the party and asked them to give us a nomination of names to do that, so we did the same. So I've gone to the Republican Party, asked them for nominations. So they're gonna try to shoot for the 27th, but the latest, the 3rd, that's Dairy Parade Day, the 3rd, so that's why we put it at 5, so it won't be, it should be quick to get that happen, so. Because if we wait till the 17th, we're past our deadline date, which is our next scheduled meeting, so we're gonna have a special meeting. So anticipate both those dates and consider this public notice as well. Will be followed the 27th at 6 p.m., also the 3rd at 5 p.m. They were filling that vacancy. Yeah, so I guess that's all I have on the board reports. So it's a board report. And so where are we up to?
Well, I've got Katie's, she sent it,
Okay. So we're Ward 3
or 2,
or Ward 2. Oh, yeah, Katie, that's right.
that's okay. So she said, Pat, could you deliver my ward report? All is quiet, although some students remain landlords will be tidying their properties. Neighbors are looking out for strangers poking around the empty houses. I enjoyed 2 nights of the ward walking. The 5 of us were joined by my constituent the first night, and she brought a friend the second night. I'm looking forward to getting updates on some of the properties we discussed, namely vacant houses. We covered a lot of ground, but feel free to contact me if you have concerns.
Thank you. So. And Ms. Pinello, ironically, tripped on one of our sidewalks, so she is not with us during our ward walk. So, Godspeed to her getting better. Rock all of it. So, now we'll go to Ms. Lang.
Okay. I went up to vote up at the school, and there was a constituent there who has complained before about noisy student parties, college parties. I said something about, well, they're gone now, so, you know, it should be quiet. And she said, no, it's still noisy. And there are still, I guess, parties going on, so issues, Reynolds Ave and the corner of Owego and Tompkins, she said. I'd like to thank DPW for patching the corner of Groton and Townley. I drive it twice a day, and I won't worry about losing a tire anymore. Thanking Code for dealing with the tall grass, and I'm sure Councilperson Beckwith will remind us of what you should do if your grass is tall. I went to the town hall for the Cortland Standard, which was wonderful. A lot of people there, packed house, great presentation. And I went down the next day and got my year's subscription for it. So, yeah, it's gonna be great. I know we're gonna be talking about this later. You want me to hold on to?
Sure.
Okay, so, and that is it for the 4th.
Thank you. Mr. Carpenter.
I'd like to thank the mayor for all that in the park, that nice sign is in, so, everything's looking good down there, appreciate all your work on that. Who's doing the cement work down there?
We are.
Okay.
Internal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. We're gaining. It's
Yeah,
gonna be nice.
looks really nice.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Is that the book? Oh, you're sorry.
Mr. Beckwith.
Oh, quiet in the 7th ward.
Mr. Michaels.
Well, that's not the case in the 8th ward.
It's not over there, Tom.
We did finally get our potholes filled in the 8th ward. Everybody certainly looking forward to a more comfortable drive now. Also attended the zoning meeting last night regarding some new construction that may take place in the 8th ward, so certainly looking forward to that. I'm sure the neighborhood is certainly gonna welcome that as well. We do have a tree on Cedar Street that's on the list to be removed. Not sure in what order, but I suspect that the condition it's in will be probably sooner than later. I know that Code has been enforcing the laws regarding no mow May. I know tickets have been issued, so please do your due diligence in getting your lawns mowed, so you don't receive a summons. And on a positive note, that I just caught up with Derek Reynolds tonight regarding how the fire department with their boot drive over the weekend. He's informed me that $6,600 in cash. And there's still some monies to come in after that, which may amount to about 7,000, all done and told, so. Excellent job for our firefighters getting out. On that dismal weekend, I believe it was raining out most of the day, so God bless them. And that's all I have for the 8th ward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Approval of minutes. Can I get a motion for the minutes, Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter. Any questions, additions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Agenda item number 1, approve special events permit for the reunion of the Aegis Benefit Concert on July 26, 2025 at the Fort Watson Street and Conference Center.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby approve the issuance of permits as described below for the reunion of the Aegis concert, July 26th, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 131 Fort Watson Street. And the permits are for a special event permit, a sound device permit without fee, and they will be obtaining a New York State Liquor Authority permit. And be it further resolved that the city clerk shall issue said permits conditioned on fulfillment of applicable state and local code requirements.
Motion by Mr. Michaels, second, Mr. Carpenter.
We do have Rhonda Moore, in case there's any questions here tonight. She sits on the committee for this event. This is something that's been going on for quite some time now. We've had no, at least any reaction to this event. It's always been a peaceful event. And the folks in the neighborhood, as well as the planners and those out of towners that like to come to this, is certainly looking forward to this event again this year. As we may have heard that last year was supposed to have been the last year for this event, but they decided to run it again this year.
Hope they continue it on. Thank you for doing that this morning. I appreciate that. Anybody have any questions?
Just not a concern of mine or a complaint, but the 10 o'clock PM is that what we've normally done? Because usually we do 9, I always thought, but
I think our sound permits are all go till 10.
Okay.
as well, so that's
that confirmed we're not setting precedent.
That's common,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's usually 10.
Okay.
No, it's my understanding, all the paperwork's in order, so just waiting for the go ahead.
It's great. Always like to have those events.
Yes.
Anything else? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 2, special event permits for the YMCA Viking 5K run on June 14, 2025.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby approve for issuance permits without fees as described below, the YMCA Viking 5K run. And I left off the date there, but it's June 14th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Special event permit and sound device permit without fee, and they'll be starting on Court Street, going to the SUNY Student Center, via West Court, Graham, James, Tompkins, and some other side streets. And be it further resolved that the city clerk shall issue said permits conditioned on fulfillment of applicable state and local code requirements and on approval by the chief of police.
Mr. Carpenter. Slang, yeah, this would be a great event. This is the first one for this, so they're looking forward to trying it and end it up and having an event afterwards, so. We appreciate all drawing attention to all of it and the fundraising that goes back to the YM. It's a good situation as well. All right, over please.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 3, authorized agreement for financial auditing services.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby authorize Mayor Steve to enter into an agreement for financial auditing services upon recommendation of the Director of Administration and Finance.
Question.
Wait, we'll call it first. Do you want to make a motion?
Sure.
Yes, I am. Mr. Beckwith.
Who do we have now?
We, the gentleman that was here last time, who was from Insero,
Okay,
who gave the report.
okay, so are we changing or he's in the mix and,
It appears that we're going to be changing, just in discussion with them, they weren't, sure that they have the capacity to continue with us at this point.
okay,
So we've been talking to several other firms and discussing with them if there's a way what might work best for both parties. Part of the trouble, we were so very late this time, we were trying to ensure that we were done more timely going forward, so that was part of the conversation.
okay, thanks.
So we had that conversation with him. If you remember last meeting, he made reference to if they do it next year, we were concerned about that, so we challenged them, and now in discussion with their partners, that was a problem, but. You know, we have everything in order, we don't wanna be late, so we don't wanna go through that again, so. That, therefore, we have to do it, and and this is professional services, so we have two other people that we're trying to work with, so we don't know, we don't have those numbers yet. We don't have that end of professional services, but we just wanna make sure it's on the record that we're moving it forward. We'll follow up with the refinance report next month, what the actual costs were. Anybody else? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith,
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 4, authorize agreement for lease of parking area at 7678 Main Street.
Resolved that the mayor is authorized to enter into a lease for the parking area located at 7678 Main Street for a sum not to exceed $20,000 for a 12-month period.
Motion. Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter. So just for clarifications, this, Mr. McNeil has purchased that property and we are hoping to, get together with negotiations to try to work out, so we have some additional parking behind there. As we know, there's, there are quite a few cars parked there now, and, rather than him put concrete barriers and not allowing anything back there, trying to work out some kind of resolution to be able to create maybe long-term parking and business parking there, and give him 2-hour parking back in the alley that goes between Brew and the VFW.
So there'll be leasable spots.
Right. We generate the revenue. On those spots to be able to have that for long-term parking. And put the 2-hour parking in the other spots.
Yeah.
Has the owner of the VFW decided what they're gonna do with the building at this point?
We're bantering back and forth on a couple designs and ideas. At this point, nothing is official.
Okay. Just wondering.
Everybody else? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
So, agenda item number 5 and number 6, I would like to, we have a substitute agenda item, so I'd like to get a motion first to, everybody has a copy of the red line version of the substitute item. It was decided that the seeker came to us last minute from an outside agency, and we decided to be able to merge into one document to make it cleaner. So can we first get a motion to accept the agenda item change? Ms. Lane, Mr. Carpenter, all those in favor of the change? And that being, so now the agenda item we'll be voting for is the State Environmental Quality Review Seeker designation lead agency and determination of type 2 action regarding Maple Ave over Otter Creek culvert replacement.
Resolved that the common council hereby makes the following findings. The project consists of the replacement of the existing structure at the crossing of Maple Ave over Otter Creek, located approximately 50 feet east of the intersection of Maple Ave and Halbert Street, with a new box culvert structure that will meet current design requirements. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby designates pursuant to state regulation with respect to the project. And be it further resolved that based upon examination of the components of the project and the criteria contained in state regulation, and based upon its knowledge of the areas including and surrounding the project site and discussions with professionals retained by the city, the common council's lead agency hereby makes the following determinations with respect to the project pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. A, the project constitutes a type 2 action, which is not subject to review under SECRA. B, based upon review by the common council, any input provided by other involved agencies and other necessary criteria set forth in SECRA, the common council hereby finds and determines that the project will result in no significant impacts, and therefore, A, the action is not one which may include the potential for at least one significant adverse environmental impact. B, there will be no significant adverse environmental impacts. And C, no environmental impact statement need be prepared as such quoted terms are defined in SECRA. This determination has been prepared in accordance with Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law of the State of New York. And C, a copy of this resolution shall be placed on file in the office of the city clerk, where the same shall be made available for public inspection during business hours and published in such manner as shall be necessary to conform with the requirements of SECRA. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
I got a motion. Mr. Carpenter. Thank you. Any questions on this?
Just one, do we know when this work will commence?
They are in the finished design phases this year and they'll be working on it this year. It's a total tear out, the road will be gone and then they'll lay the pipe in and put the road back.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And when we were out doing our ward walks, it was pretty much almost to the crest of the top. That was during a heavy rains, seemed a lot of it. So it's time. Anything else, Mr. Jewett?
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 7, accept and recognize $100,000 donation from Bailey Place Insurance for playground and gym improvements at Parker School.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council, on behalf of the mayor and youth bureau, expresses its gratitude for the generous donation of $100,000 from Bailey Place Insurance Foundation, or I'm sorry, it should be just Bailey Place Insurance, for Parker School playground and gymnasium improvements. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby accepts the $100,000 donation and appropriates the funds to capital fund account H06, Parker School playground and gym, to be used for improvements to the playground and gymnasium at the former Parker School.
Motion? Yeah. Mr. Carpenter, Ms. Lane. So I can't thank Janine and Steve very much for this donation. It's a huge one. And you know, it was kind of nice to walk through it with them to talk about his history there from his family teaching there to being involved and being in the gym. And he really wanted to really focus on getting the gym restored back, from the color of the pads on the wall to the painting of the lines, you know, for pickleball court to the emblems on logos, as well as the playground outside, to replace that and get that back so they're all functioning for the younger kids that will be back in that school this summer or this fall, I'm sorry. So we really appreciate those. We wouldn't be able to do that and make these improvements without private donations like that. So the gym will be painted, some lights will be fixed, new padding, new basketball hoops that are adjustable so they can have younger groups in there to be able to use that, youth group programs more. And you know, again, lining it for pickleball, wrestling is using it a lot now. So it'd be basically great to be able to have that utilized. But again, we thank Janine and Steve and certainly the Bailey Place team for their dedication to our community.
I saw Steve Franco today at a baseball game and personally thanked him for this unbelievably generous donation.
It's great to have our community involved, so if I get a chance, make sure you thank him personally, shake your hand, we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, move it to
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
agenda item number 8, authorize agreement with Miracle Recreation Equipment Company for playground equipment at Parker School.
Resolved that the common council hereby authorizes the purchase of new playground equipment for Parker School from Miracle Recreation totaling $37,359 with funds received from the Bailey Place Insurance. And be it further resolved that the mayor is authorized and directed to take all necessary actions to complete the purchase and installation of the playground equipment in accordance with applicable procedures and guidelines.
Ms. Lang, Mr. Carpenter. So I know sometimes some questions have been arisen on the bidding process. This is all Sourcewell bid, so it was all either state bid, just common for some of this, because it's common work for school districts and floors and et cetera to be done. So it's all done either state bid or Sourcewell, which is a bid, piggyback up bid that we can agree check on. So that's what this is. Anybody have any questions? Okay, Mr. Jewett.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
On the withdrawal agenda, item number 9, we're waiting for one more bid that we did not have, so we're pulling number 9. Agenda item number 10, please note the corrected amount numbers of backboards are 4 glass backboards and the funding or the cost is $11,540. So I just want to make sure that's noted and so agenda item number 10, authorize the purchase of adjustable backboard equipment for the Park School Gymnasium. I get a motion, please. Mr. Carpenter. Mr. Michaels, any questions on that? Again, take note, there's 4 glass board and the cost is $11,540. By the time we got the monies and we had to get this stuff out, which last minute trying to get everything forward so we can move this stuff during the summertime. So we're trying to get these things to happen. All right, anybody else move it, please?
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 11, home rule request.
Resolved that the common council of the city of Cortland hereby requests that the legislature of the state of New York enact an appropriate amendment to section 1210 of the tax law of the city of New York to authorize the city of Cortland to adopt and amend the local law to impose a tax rate of 4%, being a 1% additional tax, and to the 3% as currently authorized under that section of law, and be it further resolved that the requisite number of copies of this resolution be forwarded to member of the Assembly Kellis and Senator Webb, and to such other parties as may be required, so that those state legislators can properly sponsor the appropriate legislation, which will provide the relief requested in this resolution.
Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Carpenter. So just a little discussion or explanation. So this is not increasing our sales tax. Our sales tax in Cortland County is 8%. Technically, the state has allowed 7% for years, and then they have to increase, they have to have a legislation to approve that extra 1% to make everybody 8%. So that's continuing. What this home rule request would be, give the ability to 4% of the sales tax collected in the city would be given directly to the city instead of to the county and then distributed from there. The 4% could be distributed directly to the city. And then the other 4% the state withholds themselves. So that gives us an option to be able to do be able to have those from there. We're estimating anywhere between 10 and 15 million in revenue. So we go similar, a little bit more touristy. They're getting 21 million. They're doing the similar to the same. So we just want to get all options before we present the council with where we want to go on our sales tax. So the Kellis and Webb would put a bill number to it, and we'd have, this is the first step of the home rule request. Then they put a bill number to it. That's the purpose of setting a meeting for May 27th at 6 p.m. We're hoping to have the bill numbers from them by that date. We'd have the meeting on that date to make a resolution to vote on that with that bill number on the 27th, and then from there we would go back to be voted on the whole floor and sign, and then we have their options from there. Anybody have any questions? Anything I didn't clarify, Mr. Lewis?
Nope, you hit it right on the head, Mayor.
Thank you, appreciate it. Anything you want to add, Beth? All right, anybody have any questions? Okay.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Okay, so just want to confirm everybody's going to be able to make those dates. We're shorthanded this technically because we have a vacant seat. We were able to get away with 4 council members today, but hopefully we'll make sure that everybody's here. On both those dates, they should be brief, and I think we should be doing it. But the purpose of the meeting is to adopt resolution, request a home rule legislation after its introduction. When we get those bill numbers, and the other one is appointing Ward 1 council member, because we have to appoint that within that 30 days. So if the bill numbers don't get in, you'll be notified that meeting is canceled, and so will everybody else. But we're hoping to get that, and in the event that the Republicans have made a decision on the 27th, we would handle that Ward 1 appointment at that time. If not, then we're scheduling the Ward June 3rd as the backup time for that.
At 5.
That one's at 5 to get ahead
That's
of
what
the
the
dairy parade.
dairy parade.
Yeah, that's the purpose for that. So, again, I know, we addressed some concerns about some of the trash. I think that was, my notes. So as you all know, we reduced our rates. We're able to renegotiate that bid from the original one to set that out, to reduce the rates to reflect that savings and that change in that. Some of the assessment were done for over 4 units were done based on them not having the trash to do that, and they're considered a business. So their assessment was done differently for that, so everybody's not necessarily subsidizing others, it's everybody's given the same benefit of beneficial use that it's outside of that, so they could say there aren't, and then the taxing districts of the dumpsters that are in the Main Street Corral, which we're intending to do the other ones, those are RFPs we had out. So as a temporary basis, we've allowed the, those businesses, because of the downtown construction and all that, to help give them a little assistance until the bids came in, which they just came in. And so we hope to get those released and have somebody else to be able to do those dumpsters and spread those costs across those businesses on a competitive rate that's less than what they had been paying before. And there's no increase in sales tax. Certainly we do whatever we can to keep the tax rate down, always to the best of our ability. We will get representation in Ward 1 as soon as we can get that physically happening. They're doing it, they have some good interested people, which is great, and so that would happen, and then understand that there is an election process that can happen in November to fill those seats, so that there'll be, this is only till the end of the year when this happens. We'll nominate that till the end of the year, then there'll be an election process at that point. So I think I answered all of that. ARPA's taken care of, all those other things are done. We will have the appropriate conversations for all the other issues that we have outside of here. Anybody else have anything else they want to discuss or questions? Yeah, take a motion for adjournment. Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Beckwith, all those in favor? 6:38, meeting adjourned. Thank you.